Terrifier 3 faces major setback as actor walks off during grisly scene. The much-anticipated horror film Terrifier 3, released on September 19th, recently hit a major roadblock during production when one of its actors walked off the set in the middle of a gruesome and intense scene. The actor, known for his roles in some of the most intense and disturbing horror films, revealed that the brutal nature of a particular scene became too overwhelming, forcing him to leave the set. This latest incident has added a unique layer to the film's already notorious reputation for extreme gore and psychological horror. Terrifier 3, much like its predecessors, is known for its graphic violence and disturbing content, and it's become infamous for scaring audiences in ways that only a few horror franchises dare to. It's aimed to go from truly horrible to extremely scary in a sequence that is built around Matthew McConaughey accepting the role and then performing it with the bottom of a drainpipe filmed up through a distorted video game based on a game of Crash. The film's excessive brutality and terrifying visuals have left audiences both shocked and captivated, and it's no wonder why some actors, even those seasoned in the genre, find it too much to handle. The actor in question, Daniel Roebuck, plays a key role in the film, portraying Santa Claus in a supernatural slasher setting. While Roebuck has had a long career in both television and film, his involvement in Terrifier 3 was expected to bring a fresh perspective to the already brutal narrative. However, as filming progressed, Roebuck found himself struggling with a particularly horrifying scene that pushed him past his limit. In a candid interview with The Mirror, Roebuck opened up about his decision to walk off set, describing the experience as both disturbing and difficult to process. The actor, who has built a reputation for playing intense and often frightening characters, revealed that he was ultimately excused from filming during the scene, and his character's death was carried out by using various stand-ins. He expressed his disgust with the level of violence depicted, calling the film crazy as S. Roebuck's frank assessment of the film underscores the unnerving atmosphere that permeates the Terrifier series, which has earned a reputation for pushing the boundaries of horror cinema. Roebuck recounted the specific scene in question with a mix of humor and disbelief. "It got to the point where I was excused, and my murder took part by using a series of other versions of me that stood in for me," he explained. This was a unique approach to filming, but it highlights the disturbing nature of the scene and the intensity of the atmosphere on set. Roebuck also added a more lighthearted touch to his recollection, stating, "I mean, that's when you really know you're going to get it, because when you get shot, you're like, oh, but they're like, all right, and now we're going to chip off your face." Roebuck had so many near misses that year, it's hard to even count. Despite the horror that unfolded on set, Roebuck remained somewhat philosophical about the experience. "I can't escape Christmas this year," he joked, acknowledging the irony of his role as Santa Claus in a film that uses the holiday theme in such a dark and twisted way. The humor, however, can't overshadow the true terror that Terrifier 3 is famous for, as its shocking and sometimes nauseating violence continues to be a central talking point for those who dare to watch. The impact of violence in horror cinema. Terrifier 3 continues the legacy of its predecessors, Terrifier and Terrifier 2, which have made a name for themselves by embracing the most extreme aspects of horror cinema. The films, created by Damien Leone, are known for their unrelenting violence, grotesque imagery, and psychologically tormenting characters. These films are not for the faint of heart, as they are deliberately designed to test the limits of what audiences can stomach. The terrifying franchise has become a cult sensation for fans of extreme horror, largely due to its portrayal of the sadistic character Art the Clown, who is notorious for his brutal methods of killing. While Terrifier 3 continues this trend of shocking violence, the film's impact on the cast is just as significant as its effect on audiences. Roebuck's walk-off from the set serves as a reminder of the toll that such extreme content can take on actors. Even those with years of experience in the genre can be pushed to their breaking point when dealing with scenes that border on the truly horrific. It also raises questions about the ethical responsibility of filmmakers in pushing the boundaries of gore and violence. Filmmakers in the horror genre often face a delicate balancing act. On the one hand, they must create content that shocks, terrifies, and challenges their audiences, while on the other hand, They must be mindful of the psychological and emotional impact that such content can have on those involved in its creation. While Roebuck's decision to walk off the set of Terrifier 3 was likely a difficult one for both the actor and the production team, it also highlights the power of horror cinema to provoke strong reactions, not just in its audience, but also from those who bring it to life on screen. The enduring appeal of the Terrifier franchise. Despite the controversial incident on set, Terrifier 3 has continued to generate buzz, both for its shocking scenes and its status as a continuation of a franchise that has cultivated a passionate fan base. The Terrifier films are not for everyone. In fact, they have been criticized for their brutal portrayal of violence, and some viewers have found them to be distasteful or even harmful. However, there is an undeniable allure to the franchise for those who enjoy the extreme side of horror. The films are unapologetic in their approach to terror, and this has led to their success in certain circles of the horror community. The franchise has been compared to other iconic horror series such as Saw and Hostel, which are also known for their gruesome and graphic depictions of violence. However, Terrifier stands out for its focus on shock value and its lack of restraint in showcasing disturbing images. For some fans, this is precisely what makes the franchise so captivating. It taps into a primal fear of the unknown and the grotesque, and its unsettling imagery lingers long after the credits roll. In addition to its violent content, Terrifier 3 also continues to explore the dark and twisted world of Art the Clown, who has become one of the most infamous villains in contemporary horror. Art's sadistic nature and disturbing presence have earned him a place among the most memorable horror icons of the modern era. The Terrifier films are a testament to the enduring appeal of slasher horror, particularly in an age where audiences are increasingly desensitized to traditional horror tropes. While the film's brutality has sparked debate about the ethics of horror filmmaking, there is no denying that Terrifier 3 has made a significant impact on the genre. The incident with Roebuck only adds to the mythos of the film, reinforcing its reputation for pushing boundaries and creating content that challenges both its cast and its audience. Looking ahead, what's next for the terrifying franchise? As Terrifier 3 continues to make waves in the horror world, many are wondering what's next for the franchise. Will Terrifier 4 take things even further, or will the series begin to scale back its extreme violence in favor of more psychological terror? The future of the franchise remains uncertain, but it's clear that the Terrifier films will continue to be a polarizing force in the horror genre for years to come. One thing is for sure: the Terrifier series has solidified its place in horror history as one of the most brutal and divisive franchises of all time. Whether you love it or hate it, there's no denying the lasting impact it has had on horror filmmaking and the way that audiences experience fear. As the franchise moves forward, fans and filmmakers alike will have to grapple with the question of just how far horror can go before it crosses the line. For Daniel Roebuck and others involved in Terrifier 3, the answer might already be clear. There are limits, even in the world of extreme horror. In conclusion, Terrifier 3 has proven to be more than just another horror film. It's become a symbol of the genre's ability to shock, disturb, and sometimes even push the people who create it to their limits. The roadblock faced during filming serves as a reminder of the extreme nature of the film and the unsettling world of Terrifier. As the series continues, it remains to be seen just how much further the filmmakers will push the boundaries of horror, but one thing is certain: Terrifier 3 has left an indelible mark on both its cast and its audience.